Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Hey, 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 this is your Sister Nayera, your transformational life coach, speaker, and retreat leader, your podcast host for Heal on Purpose podcast, owned and produced by the Repair of the Black Family. I am truly excited to be here with you today. As my own self, like, look, I'm interviewing myself today, y'all. But you know what? I'm so happy and I'm so excited just to be here today, to be present again for my own podcast, in which I am going to definitely get into why it's been, a couple episodes that you have missed. And as you know, here on the Heal on Purpose podcast, it is our goal to eradicate generational trauma, drama, limiting beliefs, and self-sabotaging behavior patterns. And so with that being said today, I'm addressing my own self today, y'all. Come on now. Are y'all ready for this? If you are ready for this, then I definitely want you to get you a cup of tea, get you a notepad and some notes so that you can take notes. If you are watching this live via Facebook, I want you to take notes and also drop me some yellow hearts. Let me know that you are vibing with your sister. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? We want to get this message out to far and wide to our people. And as you watch today and you love what you hear and you want to help us continue to be able to stream and create these wonderful broadcasts that's going to bring you effective solutions to handle your generational traumas, dramas, limiting beliefs, and self-sabotaging behavior patterns, then definitely make sure that you also give a donation to Repair of the Black Family. $, Repair of the Black Family on Cash App. Now today, beloved family, I'm here to talk about recalibrating. Come on now. How many of you in your life have had to recalibrate some things in your life to do it all over again? And so that's my message today, as a result of just some things, some trying times in my life, some goals and some objectives that I've worked so hard within the past couple of weeks to achieve in my life. It had me to do just this, write this down and take a mental note to recalibrate, to do some things over again and do it differently. Now, as I talk about this, I want you to position yourself and I want you to think about yourself. Where in your life have you had to recalibrate or you need to recalibrate? And the most vulnerable thing is understanding that, it's okay. I got to do this again and I got to do it differently. And so these past couple of months, in particular, these past couple of weeks have had me to realign. Who's tribing with me? Who's vibing with me? To realign myself to do some things differently. Even as it relates to my podcast, I had to realize that, I got to focus. I got to refocus some things right now to be able to accomplish a major goal in my life. And I was able to do just that. And so with that being said, I wanted to bring to my listening audience, a moment of transparency, a moment of vulnerability, and a moment just to say, it's okay. It's okay if you got to do some things over again. And before I go deep into this message, and as y'all get y'all tea and y'all pens, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Women's History Month. It is our story month. Women's Her Story Month. Okay. And so to all the women out there, I want you to be bold enough, courageous enough, and vulnerable enough, and transparent enough. Transparent meaning let people see you. You have a story to tell, right? There's so many women that have come before us. There's so many women that will come after us, and they will benefit from our healing story. They will benefit from the trials and tribulations that we go through, but also to be able to say how I got over, how God brought me through some things, how I was able to maneuver through some things to get where I'm at. So this month is very important to honor and reverence the womb that bore you, to honor those who have paved the way, because God blesses those who forges the way for others. So to be able to honor the women that have paved the way in your life, or you look from afar, like I love the fact that I still have my mother here and I can honor her in her existence and what she has done. My sisters, I have sisters that have forced away from me on different levels. So I just want to say to us to be able to look into avenues of your life. Who is your shero? You know, if I had to talk about one of my sheroes, which I love so very dearly, it would be Harriet Tubman. Why? Because she said reportedly that she has freed thousands of slaves, and she could have freed thousands more if only they knew that they were slaves. And so I just love that motto because I understand the mission or the principle behind that. So many of us are stuck in the bondages of our own mind. So many of us are stuck in the bondages of our parents or our grandparents, or the things that they wasn't able to accomplish. And so now we have a time to, come on, somebody say this with me, break free, right? We have a time to break free from the traps of self-doubt, criticism, resentment, anger, frustration, mental illnesses. We have the opportunity to break free from poor relationships. Come on now, poor communication, financial poverty. We are living in a dispensation of time, family, where we have the opportunity to set ourselves free, set the captive slave free, but it's going to take some work. And it's going to take some dedication. It's going to take, listen, and listen to me well. It's going to take commitment. And so with that being said, I just want you to know that I'm committed to serving you. I'm committed to bringing you valuable information that's going to continue to help us to do the purge. Come on now. And release and get rid of some things that has kept us in bondage. So I want to thank you all so much for just being patient. For those, I know I have some faithful listeners. Okay. And for those who was faithful enough just to wait for me to say, you know what, somewhere in your soul, you knew that Sister Naira was going to show up again on this podcast. And so thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for understanding my journey, because the race is not to the swift, nor to the strong, but those of us who can endure to the end. And in that word endure, you're going to find the word suffering. So we got to suffer through some things in order to get to the desired goal. And it is my desired goal to be one of the ones to free many, many captive slaves. And so with that being said, I had to recalibrate, y'all. Come on now. We're having a fireside chat with Sister Naira, healing on purpose. I had to recalibrate. Let me take a little bit of my tea over here, y'all. Y'all got your tea? I had to recalibrate. I had to do some things different. And as I realized in my recalibration, I had to do some things over. I had to be willing to grieve the losses. Some of the things that I lost in my process, right? Because while I was trying to achieve one thing, I was losing out on some other things. And when you are going through something, when you are in your life, you're trying to achieve major goals, or you're making a shift, you're going to lose some things. You may even lose some people, but it's okay. Give yourself permission to even experience that. Many of us are losing people through death, right? Through relationships. We're losing people. We're losing things. We're losing jobs. We're losing friendships. We're losing some things. But I want you to know that it's okay. You got to be able to say it's okay and go through the process and allow yourself to feel the emotions that come with that. I had to just sit and be still and say, you know what? Right now, I can't do this. Or right now, I got to experience this. Or right now, it's a little difficult. Right now, I'm not able to do X, Y, and Z. I can't get too personal with y'all with that part. But what I'm saying is I went through some losses. And in the loss, I had to give myself permission to feel the loss. But while I was doing it, come on, who listening to this? While I was going through it, I was praying without ceasing. Somebody needed to hear this today. You got to be willing to pray without ceasing. And as you are praying, you got to continue to do the work. You got to be persistent. And this is how I was able to recalibrate. I was able to shift into another gear and pull myself up out of the losses that I was experiencing. And one of the things that I have come to find out is you got to be truthful with yourself. That this don't feel good right about now. And that's how I was able to heal through that process of the losses on the journey. And so as you are going through this recalibration, one of the most important things I had to do is I had to learn how to say no in the process. Ooh, because so many people depend on Sister Naira to do X, Y, and D. And I try to show up for this and show up for that and do this and do that. But I had to get in a moment. It was like a space where I couldn't even answer my phone, even to some of my closest people, my mother, okay, my sisters and brothers, some of you, I couldn't answer my phone. I wasn't active on social media as I wanted to be because I was in a process. I was recalibrating. I was doing some things differently, which was going to take a whole different way of doing it, a whole different viewpoint. I had to look at it differently. And so I say that to say this, that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to yourself. Ooh, wait a minute. Sister, what you talking about? You got to be able to say no to some of the things that you are used to doing to get you where you go every day. But if you're doing something differently, it's going to require a different level of saying no to yourself. No in this aspect represents discipline. Ooh, who am I talking to today? I have to put myself in a position to be disciplined. And so I want you to know that as you're maneuvering through and you're going through some things, and maybe you're not going through some things, you're trying to achieve something in your life, you got to be willing to be disciplined. Drop me some of yellow hearts if y'all feeling this message. If you are on my YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can also be able to stay connected to Sister Naira and her podcast. So I just want to say, you got to be willing to say no. And as I was saying no, and as I was grieving my losses, I had the focus in my mind that I'm building on solid ground. See, I'm making sure that this foundation is tight of this new level and layer of life for Sister Naira and her family and her business and her community and ultimately humanity. You see, my uncle, may Allah be pleased with him, may God be pleased with him. He passed on, but he was a pastor, Pastor Walter Williams now. I grew up in his church, Greater St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church. And one of the favorite lectures that I love to hear, I used to love to hear him speak on, is you got to build your house on solid ground, upon a rock and not upon the sand. Because, honey, if you build that house on the sand, the wind gonna come and blow it off, and that house just gonna go to shambles. But if you build your house upon a rock, come on now, it's strong. You got to be anchored in your foundation. And for me, I got to constantly work on myself so I could be anchored in the Lord. And so I say that to say this, that whatever you're doing, make sure you're solid. Make sure you standing 10 toes down. Make sure that you understand that whatever you're doing is in you and it's not on you. Whatever you're doing, that your house cannot be blown away, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trials, regardless of your weaknesses, regardless of your naysayers, regardless of whatever you're going through or whatever may come up against you. Because there's some things, baby, let me tell you, there's some things that has come up against my process that I had to hold on to God's unchanging hand. But I also had to realize that he already equipped me for it. See, you got to know when you're building your house that you are fully equipped. Come on now, we'll talk about recalibration. See, I'm fully equipped to handle what I got to go through to get to where I'm going. And remember, as you're going through, and if it's a goal that you're trying to achieve, or if it's a life situation, remember your why. Why do you exist? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you wanting to do what you're striving to do? On any area of your life, you got to remember your why. If you're a mother, remember why you're a mother. If you're a wife, remember the why of being a wife. It's a function. It's a duty. If you are a businessman, why you are in business. If you are a servant leader to the people, why did God choose you to be a servant? No matter what it is, I just want you to position yourself to remember your why. And then guess what? That's your fuel to the fire. Because you got to go through the fire to be purified for the assignment. So as you're going through, and you recalibrate, you readjust, and Lord, let me tell you something. I was going through it so bad. I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why. Many of you may have known, I just became a very high skilled, very highly skilled with the technology of Dianetics and Scientology to be able to handle the mental ills of our people. And I'm so proud of the process that I put myself through. Come on now, like Snoop say, I want to thank me. I want to thank me and God, right? Because only me and God was able to do it. Okay. And when I tell you the benefits of being able to help a person sit in my chair and alleviate their burdens where they could communicate about anything in life, about anything to any subject, to be able to free a person from the barriers of poor communication. Do you know what that's going to do for that person in the world, in their families? That's the repair. That's the repair work. Okay? To be able to take a person through their problems and knowing that they can solve any problem, that they can look at the problem, face the problem, and understand that, hey, I'm fortified and I can handle this, and that there's no problem of their past that's going to exist in their present time that they cannot handle that problem with. Come on now. And then the next thing is to relieve them, alleviate the pain of the hostilities of life from their past. Yeah, this is what I'm qualified to do. Okay? And then move them through fixed conditions. Come on now, y'all know some of us, we just fixed. I ain't gonna change, girl. Change for what? Change. I ain't change. No, there's some things we just fixed on. We ain't gonna move. We ain't. So God trying to bring us through something, and we can't even go and get the blessings or the rewards because we are on fixed conditions. But Joe's little sister over here, I could be able to move you through that, honey, and break every chain on them fixed conditions. And then, ooh, think about this. Handling a person's mind from the upsets of the past. Long duration. You know, the problems that you don't have for a long time. Excuse me. It's been a long time coming. And you are able to be free from that. To be able to look at those mental images that play over and over. You know how there's a song say, my mind is playing tricks on me. Your mind has been playing tricks on you from years upon years upon years upon years, and you don't understand why, and you are able to get to the root cause of why your mind playing tricks on you. Yeah, your sister can do that now with the help of God and her skills and talent and ability and her persistence to take a person from that to this. Mm-hmm. So I said that to say that I had to recalibrate. I had to remember my why. Why are you doing this, Sister Naira? Because insanity exists on the planet. So many people are losing their minds, have lost their minds. So many people are functioning from irrational behaviors that they do things and think that they're doing it in the name of righteousness, but it's unrighteous behavior. But we're so fixed on it that we don't understand that we're stuck in conditions and we're not willing to change because we don't know how to change. And because we've done it for so long, it looks normal to us. It looks normal to go against your brother and your sister. It looks normal to have infidelities in relationships. It looks normal to have poor health. And some of us, we want to do right. Our heart wants to be right because we're basically good. We're basically God. And we want to do right. But because of these aberrations, irrational behavior patterns, it's hard to do right in the wrong world. Come on. But when you have more access to you, more fuel for the fire, then and only then you can meet and overcome all obstacles, impediments in your life and be able to maneuver through and be the best you. Which brings me to the next point. When you are in that stage or that development where you got to recalibrate, you got to redefine yourself, you got to reposition yourself, you got to be true to you. You got to be true to thine own self. Be truthful and be true. If you know that your process is working for you, regardless to whom or what, you got to stay the course. Who am I talking to today? Stay the course and realize that this could be a wake-up call for many because of your course of endeavor. It can wake some people up where some people feel like they can't do it, but because they see you doing it, because they see your success, because they also see your struggles. They also see your hardship, but they able to see how God was moving through you and with you and for you on behalf of you to say, I too can make it. See, these are some of the principles and the qualities of a savior. And so I just wanted to come on today, not going to be long, hope I'm strong, to tell you this: be true to you and be true to your process. Whatever you are on the planet, whatever you are doing on the planet, whatever that successful action looks like for you, work cheerfully and fear not. And understand that your greatest gift is your ability to stay true to you. All things works for the good of the Lord. But you got to be, this is just Sister Nayera now. I'm telling you, keys to my success. You got to be God conscious and God activated. You got to not just have the consciousness of God, but you got to be activated. Active in the way that you're doing things as it relates to God and all of his promises. And so today, strengthen your gifts. Strengthen your gifts. Be willing to do something new that's going to edify you. Whatever your gifts are in life, do something that's going to edify them gifts so that you add value to you, add value to your process, add value to your family, add value to your circle of friends. You adding value. You're not a person that's taken away. You're a person that can give. You ever heard the saying, it's better to give than to receive? You're going to receive, but be found giving. And be found giving the quality of life. Because you work to justify your existence on the planet. Listen, for real, y'all. There's some people that's just taking up air on the planet. They're just taking up air. They're just taking up space. But not you. You got a purpose. We all have purposes, but it's all about if you choose to live in your purpose. We all have gifts. It's about if you choose to use your gifts. And sometimes we need that extra help. And that's why I came on today to say strengthen your gifts. And do it from the seat of love, not from the seat of vanity. You got to be willing to love you, your process, and everything that you stand for. You know, I'm so grateful because even though I go through and I do so much, I'm grateful because I got a husband and children and family. But I just want to focus in on my husband, friends, believers. Yeah, I could go on and on, but let me just focus in on this Black man right quick. Because it's very rare to have a Black man, okay, a husband that support his woman, his wife, his soulmate in her endeavors and allow her to be free to be all that God called her to be. That's me, my husband. I'm not saying nobody else don't have it out there. I'm just saying it's just kind of rare. Without any rancor in his heart, and he supports me, he encourages me, he like everything that I need to be comfortable in this process of doing God's assignment. He does his best to make sure that I understand the assignment, but the mission becomes accomplished. And so shout out to my husband, Brother David. You see, when you're talking about the repair of the Black family, you can't just talk about the woman. You got to talk about the man. I can't just talk about the woman. I got to talk about the man too. right? And we need more men, regardless of race, class, creed, or color, but in particular, the Black men, to help us in this dispensation of time. Y'all know it's Women's History Month, right? But to help us to exist in our space as women of God, and to help us give birth to new realities. And we can't do it without the man. I ain't even trying to, matter of fact. Not me, not Sister Naira. I'm not trying to do it without my husband, because I know that he's God's gift to me, and I'm grateful. And I pray that I qualify in the God realm to continue to have this Black man with me and beside me. Okay, so I just wanted to shout my husband out, because we're living in a world today where women becoming independent women. They don't want a husband. They ain't trying to get one. No, because the enemy, that's the attack on the end. That's the attack. That's the attack on the woman. Yeah, you can do it by yourself. When God didn't make us to be alone. No, he did not. So, love him, I do. Grateful for him, I am. Struggle with him, I will. And I'm grateful for that man, that Black man, Brother David. Okay, so that's that. I just wanted to say that because it's all about recalibration. And I had to just, in this moment of time where I'm at, I had to sit back and just observe him. Come on now. Where do you need observation in your life? I just had to observe my husband. Not saying that I haven't done that before now. Come on, 23 years of being happily married, which that's about to come up. We're about to make 24. It's not my first time in observation of my husband, but some sisters need to hear this. You got to observe that man. You got to see where he at and where he's growing at, so that you can grow with him and he can also grow with you. Especially when you are mission-minded. See, my husband and I, we're mission-minded. We're on a mission together. We don't just exist with one another. We are on a mission with each other. And that mission is to repair the Black family. So when you support us, you don't just support a business. You support a mission, which is greatly needed. And so we strive to be an example of what it looks like to have life and life more abundantly, to have everlasting joy. I don't even know how I got on this, but I'm just going to stay right here because this is not what I came to talk about. However, I just want to say it. To have everlasting life, joy that this world didn't give us and this world can't take it away. So in this dispensation of time, I just want to remind somebody to rejoice and be exceedingly glad, because these are the things that the Lord has given us. He's given us the fruits of love. Love is the key. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And at the core of all things is love. And so truth is coupled with love. And so you got to be true to yourself. See how I brought that all the way back around? You got to be true. So that's what I came on to talk about today. I just wanted to talk about how to embrace your power, recalibrate, be willing to go the extra mile for you in your process, and be willing to understand that the race is not to the swift, nor to the strong, but those of us can endure to the end. Somebody got to be willing to suffer. Somebody got to be willing to go through something. But understand this, that weeping may happen in the night, but joy is in the morning. It's for those who can actually go after, pursue happiness. Don't wait for it to come to you. Go after it. It's your birthright. And that's what your sister been going through over here. I'm not going to stay on this podcast long. Y'all get ready. I'm going to have some amazing guests that's coming in on the program. Y'all get ready for me to continue to bring you back some wonderful, powerful guest that's going to come and feed us and fulfill our soul. I want to thank you so very much for just staying connected. Thank you for being patient with Sister Naira in the Repair of the Black Family. We are striving to provide the best of us. We're grateful. If you have not gotten your book, The Repair of the Black Family Anthology, go and get the book. We got 33 powerful authors in that book with 99 suggested solutions. This is the healing balm to the family unit. Go get the book and read the book. Don't just get the book, read the book and go through the repair actions and actually apply them. Okay. In addition to that, Sister Naira and Brother David, we got this Egypt trip coming June 2nd through the 8th. That's right. Egypt, ignition, unleashing your passion, your power, and your purpose. Come go to Egypt with us. Unlock yourself and be activated. This is a healing retreat. Go reclaim. Listen to what I'm saying. Reclaim your passion, your power, and your purpose. And we do have payment plans for you. We can help you get there safely. And for all of those that's out there in the land, wherever you are, please get a passport. No matter if you're going to travel to Sister Naira, you need a passport. Passports give you levels of freedom. Okay? One of the benefits of traveling to Egypt with Sister Naira and Brother David is that you get to build a camaraderie of people that's going and that's in alignment with the same goals and purposes. You get to build international friendships. You're going to make friends that you will have for a lifetime. So it's not too late. And again, we do have a payment plan for you. And you can travel with Sister Naira and Brother David. We are certified retreat leaders that will help you on your journey of healing on purpose. And last but not least, if you like this podcast, please tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell somebody, and stay connected to the podcast. Go ahead and make a donation to $ Repair Black Family. Cash App your donations so that we can continue to keep this going. Remember this: the race is not to the swift, nor to the strong, but those of us who can endure to the end. I thank you all so much for tuning into the podcast. Thank you again. And know this, that I love you. Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Repair the Black Family. Heal on purpose.